Renovation episode Gardner. Had a lot of, but one not at a few things. So the beauty of this part, you can do what you want. We're gonna need a fire here because this isn't really enough to cook for the people upstairs. That's a good start. I thought putting something in the corner would be nice, something with a stone feature, but not quite. I don't want it to blend into these walls. So I thought I'd try something different. Use the red guard arches here. I do have a few of those. And I want it to stand out a little bit, but not too much. That's what I thought. First of all, let's turn it around so we have the actual bricks. Don't worry, it can be pretty. It's going to have to be pretty big because they're cooking for a lot of people upstairs. I hope. So we're going to set this up just to get an idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be arched like that. We could just do this. And I know it doesn't look quite right, but I'm going to put a second one here. And if you look, it's a pretty big space to cook things in. Now we need something on the back and the floor. I think for the back, we'd use these lalus because we do that on the floor as well. Let's try to line this up. Now I'm going to go a little faster. I don't want to bore people, first of all. Second of all, I'd like to get this done. I don't want to make too many videos of the same place. So we have the basic outline right now. Oops. Of the fireplace. Again, it's still fairly deep. I don't like how that's still kind of crooked. See how that looks inside here. Not that many people will be walking into the fire, but you never know. So there, cooking fire. Now let's lay that down. Or let's put in there something to cook on and with. There we go. This thing is great because it gives you a lot of items in one slot. You got 3 different things cooking there. Put a fire underneath there, it will look really good. Let's line that up a little bit better. Let's put a little fire under it too, because they do need a cooking fire. There we go. And there, just like that, little cooking rack. It's pretty high flame, cook all the food pretty well. Now we can fill that out with more things later. I actually have an idea, put a couple more logs of fire here and here. I could put in a pole sticking out, put a pot, hang a pot over the flames there too, if we really wanted to. But there, quick and easy, little cooking fireplace. Doesn't look too bad. Only use 6 slots. It's not too shabby. Alright, so I don't like those hanging over that as much as I thought I would. So let's pull these out just a little bit. them up straight. Always have to be straight. That's not too bad. Now, how does it look? Does it look symmetrical? That's too close. This should come over. Because you should always have wood near a fireplace, I guess. Now, I like this sink. I don't like that behind it. So I thought about doing is pulling this fountain out a little bit. Because I feel like we're wasting a good background. That's pretty nice. No, it doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to move these down a little more. I may just move this one out too. I'm not sure if that should stay there. See, this is what I said earlier. You never really finished tweaking and fixing things. Alright. That doesn't quite look right up there. Although I do like it in the corner. It seems okay. What we could do... sorry about my controller, everybody. What we could do, though, is cover that up. We have plenty of coverage to do that. Now, this is a case where we're going to need to be in first-person view. I prefer third-person view most of the time, but sometimes you just really need to be in first-person view. And now I'm just playing around to see how this looks. Not sure I'm going to like it. Not sure it's going to be good. But you never know until you try. Yeah, see, that's too far in. See how that looks when you line it up just right with that. Now, if you're watching, please feel free to give me some suggestions or tips. I would really like to hear what you have to say. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then put in the comments what would be a good idea for this. Again, not everybody can do everything by themselves. As much as I like to think I can, I can't. And I get a lot of great ideas from a lot of people. Again, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I'm trying to cover up that little top area with some cabinetry. Let's see. Yeah, actually not too bad. And again, this stuff is in the way. Not a big deal. So how's that look so far? This one looks a little bit low. Just a hair, so we're gonna... That's not too bad, though. And I want to put the cupboards up there because it's on wood. It seems like, to me, it'd be a lot easier to put them on wood than stone in the Middle Ages. We have a couple options. We could put them right next to each other, or we could try to make them one long cabinet. Again, this takes some patience to try to line it up right. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let me tell you, just trying to get this. This is the perfect thing for people like me with OCD. And it's also a detriment because it can drive me crazy. Alright, so alright. So we're coming along nicely with this. Again, I'm trying to lay down a rough draft, but at the same time with these little details, I'm trying to get them as close as possible. So there, a little bit of a kitchen. Put some covers up there, and we're covering up that little weird area up at the top of the fountain. I know it looks like a fountain, but I thought this would be a pretty nice sink to wash dishes in. I'll put a couple dishes sticking up out of the water. This table will come in handy because you can put this right next to it. Now it fits a little bit better. Let's see if it's lined up any. That's not too bad. It's not overhanging. Now, oops, come down to workshop. Grab fireplace grate. Put that there. What you can do is put some of the bigger dishes, pots and pans and whatnot in there. Let's see what I have here. Something fairly big that would look good. Yep, that's one thing we could put in there. Okay, I'm having a little trouble seeing in here. It's kind of dark, so before I put anything else down, I'm going to put in some lighting in here because it desperately needs some. And that's a big key to being able to make a place look good, is to be able to see. Just call me Captain Obvious. Now that that's up, you can see the pan is floating and it's inside the grate. So there, now it's down. It's still not quite right. And see how it's not touching that top part? There you go. There. That's just an example of what you can do. Now you got dishes that you washed and they're drying. Kind of like my house. Now we got plenty of things to do. Let's get back to these counters over here. We took up a lot of space. I had that other counter here and those two blocks in the center here. This, I'm thinking, would be a really good table setup. You'd have right in the center. If we could center it, it would look a lot better. But I'm going to put the cooking fire on this side, and on the other side, I'll put a prep station. They prep the meat and just get it ready to throw on the fire. Anybody that's ever worked in a restaurant is well aware of prep stations. But I don't want that little gap in there, so I'm going to try to combine them if possible without making it look horrid. It does not look too bad, actually. Let me come around here. Just make sure everything lines up as well, too. And it lines up really well. Now over here, I think this would be a good counter to put right here. And this is where they put the food once they've cooked it to take upstairs. Just stage it there so if there's a waitress or what, a barmaid can come down here and grab the food. And I'll put some food on there too to go up there and take up there. So we got the little bit better basic setup here now. Not really sold on that yet, but I might be. I do like that it's there in the corner like that. Now let's start stocking up over here. This is where you have all the supplies. That's what I pictured. They're going to need a place to store all their crates and material that came in. So this would be a good filler right here. Just it's fairly big, and just throw a couple things around it too. You don't have to fill it in every inch, every space. That would take up a lot of slots. But if you can fill it up enough to make it look like there's a lot in there, you know, kind of trick the eye, so to speak, and try to make it as neat as possible. But you don't have to. In this, it's a storage area. They're going to throw stuff in there, and while they're unloading, I mean, that's the way I look at it. So I was going to put some bread in a little bit, because, you know, bread was a big staple food back in the day. Little known fact, I did not know this till the other day, but the browner the bread back in the Middle Ages, the poorer you were, because it takes a lot of effort to make flour white. So that was just on a History Channel. It's a pretty cool little thing I saw. And nowadays, brown bread is considered a pest. Go figure. Alright, so I'm going to try to stack some things up too, make it look a little bit... Yeah, that'd be better on this one, I think. What I like to do is try to line it up a little bit, but drag on so it pops up to the surface. That way, 9 times out of 10 it will be flat. It won't be floating. And that's one of the biggest troubles I have to this day, is finding things that are still floating a little bit. Alright. You know what, I'm going to make this not perfect, because they weren't perfect. Like I said, they were throwing stuff up there trying to put in their stock, and there's another one right down here we can put right in front of it. And nothing's floating. That's always a good sign. This good one, this long one would fit right in here nicely. Turn it out a little bit though. Move this one out just a bit. Again, you're just trying to make it look like it's filled, but without using a whole lot of slots. Rough barrel could go here. Got an idea. Let's see if I have that. Common barrel, red guard barrel. Now these, I bought 9 of them from the vendor. I was going to make some doors upstairs for the bedroom, but I kind of like the idea of having the tapestry over the doors. It just makes it look a little bit neater. Now if I have more spaces when I get done with this, if I have plenty of space left over, because right now I'm only at 112. We got a little bit of stuff in here. We got some good things. What I'll do is go back and make these into doors upstairs for at least the non-royal suite ones. A couple of those was laying around in there. Not a lot of spots. Filled up a pretty decent amount of things. Alright, over here. I think this would be a good place to put up the rack that holds the barrels, the kegs. And I could have sworn I had... There we go. That would be good too. Put one right here in the center. Line it up so it's nice and flat against the back of the wall. And it's floating. So that's why I like to do that, because it's so much easier. 99% of the time it will be flat on the ground, which is a good thing. Leave it out there. Here. And I think this part of the kitchen, this area, might be done. I think actually what I like to do, this is another first person view thing. What I would like to do is make a... I would like to put in some cleaning supplies and see what I have there. Maybe if I have a clothesline with me. If not, I'll have to go because I know I have one somewhere. And make this a little laundry area as well. Alright, so let's try to line these up a little bit better. Still not quite right, but get the first person view and it'll be much better, much easier. So you want them sitting in the little grooves, but you don't want them going through. Or it's clipping the plane, so there. A couple barrels there, they don't have to be in there perfectly straight. They wouldn't be back then either. Alright. I want to put up a cabinet over here as well. I think I'll put it on this wall here. That wall's not just quite right, but that's okay. Nothing was perfect back then. Try to break up the color again, and it goes with that fireplace. And what I like to do with these red guard cabinets, or red guard counters rather, sorry. Just line them up right, like one long counter. Make it look like it's one big long cabinet. Now I know there are no doors on there, so that's where the other cabinets come into play that I have. Don't have enough though. But what I'd like to do, and I may just take some from the other wall, is just line it up in the center, sink it in, make it look nice and centered. Boom. See how far? Too bad. And now you have a really cool cabinet. So I'm going to have to take 3 more down. I'm going to do something else with this over here. It's not really doing anything for me. It's a chance trying. But we'll go back to that and visit that in a second. What we can do now is just put in the rest of the cupboards. I may just make just one. And the reason being, put this down here, I can make cabinets down below as well. But what I'd like to do, hang some of the pots and pans that I have from the cabinet above, hanging down. That would be kind of cool because a lot of people do that, and I do that. I got pots and pans hanging from hooks. I know a lot of people that do that. That can be backed up just a little bit more. Now that I think about that, I think we're going to have to turn these around. Let me link them together. And then I'm going to move this out of the way for now. You'll find that you do this a lot in housing. Or maybe it's just me. Need some more lighting over here. Let's see if I have anything. I could just put this right on top of the cabinet. There. A little bit of light. Actually, not a bad amount of light. Let's finish up by putting the doors in the bottom cabinet. This is going to be tricky because it's really low level. Let's see how that looks. And again, go back and tweak, play around with it some. Move around, get your bits and bobs in the right order. And just takes minute movements. Okay, that one looks do for now. This is just showing purposes. I'm going to speed things up a little bit to let you know, give you an idea of what I'm doing. Then you can go, and if you can use any of these, feel free. I would think that would be awesome. If you do, let me see what you've done, how you change things around. I think that would be very, very cool to see. Alright, so here's that. I'm going to hang that from here. There, so we got that hanging there. Another skillet probably should go right next to it. Oh, not that way. Try that again. Let's try to straighten that out just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect because nothing was perfect back then. What else do I have here? This should be good too. I'm not sure about that. So this, yeah, that just didn't look good. So let's just go ahead and move it in a little bit. Just hanging like that. And just whatever you have laying around, you could put down. There. There. I mean, you can do whatever you want. There is no right or wrong way to do any of this. So we got plenty of these to do to put things up. Let's add a little bit more to this area. Now, like I said, I want to go ahead and turn that around so I can have a prep station facing that cabinet where they have all the cookware, the cook tools. Come out a little bit. Good. So there's enough room to walk through and work. Hate small kitchens. Don't want to have one here. We're going to finish up the kitchen area today. Then I will go ahead and come back, finish up the upstairs, both the tavern area and the bedroom area for the inn. Finish that up, and then we'll work on the outside, which it's not a very big outside. Won't take very long to do anything up there. It'll be pretty fast. So I don't want to make these really long videos like I have been. I've been pushing for about an hour. I don't want to go much longer than that. I really don't want to bore anybody at all. Alright, so let's get back to work. Here's a little table they might have down here. Let's put up another light, because they need some light over here too. Go with this one. It's got a chain. It'll hang down. I think it'd be nice. I'm actually going to center it a little bit more. It's not the brightest. But it'll do. Turn it however you want. Put it in whatever position you want. Put the chain up in the ceiling. Not too much. Then me, I always have to go upstairs and look to see if it's poking through. And it's not. Alright. So we're getting there. Got a little bit more to go here. Alright. Also going to need plates. So to have plates, you should really have a hutch. Before I forget, let's come over here, put down some of the cleaning stuff. Put down this as well. Yeah, just try to make it look natural. As natural as you can. don't want it clipping into anything, any walls, any boxes. It doesn't happen in real life, so think of it that way. Alright, so let's put up some... And this is me. It may drive some people crazy that I bounce around like this, but I'll see something and say, hey, I gotta go do this. Hey, I gotta go do that. It drives me crazy sometimes. But let's put up some food stuff. So I just set that there just to get an idea. I want to use that nail. Put it in, and that looks like it's in the post. It is. I don't see it floating out. And I think on this side, maybe right next to it, right on this side, that'd be kind of cool. Put that deer. This one's animated. It's really cool. Just set it down. I'm going to turn it. Actually, I'll turn it this way so when people walk in, they see the antlers, they see the deer. I'm going to try to line that up with that post as well. Okay, so that looks like the rope is in the ceiling. It's not floating. Let's go see if it's sticking out through here. Alright. You can really tell the difference night and day in this game inside places, because it is really, really hard to see some of the areas. Let's put up some sconces. Put up a couple of these. These are my, I don't know why, but these are it's one of my favorite lighting items in the game. Over here, we're going to put some in here because this is where the family's going to live. So they need some light too. So I got this here. I'm going to put one of the floor sconces down here to help light things up too. Don't really need a whole lot of light over here. I put the stable over here because I was going to put a couple chairs down too. Kind of like a little dining area for the folks. You know what, I'm going to give them rocking chairs because I really like the rocking chairs in this game. And I'm going to try to put them down again. This is tough for me because I'm kind of, well, I'm not kind of, I'm colorblind. Certain shades of green, red, green, colorblind. And a lot of times, especially when it's darker in the game at nighttime, I can see when the light is green or yellow. I can see that. But when it's lighter in the game at daytime, I can't see anything. I can't tell the difference between the colors, and it really, really kind of messes things up sometimes. Alright, I want to put a candle there too. Here we go. I'm just going to put this set right there to light up over here a little bit too. Alright. So we have our basics of our, well, we have a pretty good chunk of the kitchen done now. We have a plate for dishes, which let's add to that if we can. What can we put in there? We have one of those. Here we go. Common bowl. Now I wish I could take credit for this little idea, using the grate as a place to dry your dishes, but I can't. This one belongs to folks at Curry Gaming Inc., Desi and Josh. This was in one of their last videos. I saw it and I was thinking, yep, I'm going to totally use that, because it's a great idea. Great, great, great idea. And I'm going to put this one here, this bowl. I'm going to try to put this bowl here. Yikes. Easier said than done sometimes. Then we'll put the other one in the water. And we'll put a couple other items in here too. Got skillets everywhere. So let's put that in there too. Just throw it right up in there. Now I'm looking at it though. The sink is a little bit too big for what it's supposed to be. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to sink that in there. No pun intended. That was a bad joke even by my standards. Yikes! Man, if I keep making jokes like that, I'm going to stop watching my channel. Alright. Trying to line this up because I like that little shelf up here. Let me go ahead and deactivate that because it's got some bubbling water there. But this little shelf right up here, I could put some things in here, like, that's not quite even though, so that's kind of bugging me, so. It just needs a little tweaking. I was using this center line right here on the little shelf to line up with that center line right there to try to get it perfect, and it's pretty darn close if I do say so myself. Alright, so let's go back to putting some dishes in there. In the sink. It's a little bit better, it's not as big. Back to first person. Just easier to see. Here's that frying pan. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, good. What I might do is put a little light down there to make it glow a blue color. Just so you can see what's in there a little bit better. I mean, what good is putting something in there if you can't see it? Pie dish, yeah. Let's put this pie dish in there because it's empty. It's like they've already finished off the pie, which, that sounds good right now. Damn, I wish I had some pie. I'm going to start a poll. Which pie do you like the best? Apple, cherry, pumpkin, pecan? Maybe I'll do that in a poll just to see what the response is. We're almost done in here. I want to throw something else in there. I want to make it a little bit more like a sink. Teapot. Teapots get dirty. You gotta wash them too. I don't know about you guys, but when I do dishes, if the dishwasher's full and I still want to wash some dishes, I'm still gonna just throw them in there. I'm not gonna make them perfect in there. That's a big sink. Alright, what I can do up here, you need some soap. Some kind of some kind of dish soap. What I was thinking about using for that good old vial. Actually, I got a better idea. I'm going to put that right there on the side. Instead of a blue light, I'm going to go with another candle. Do like the candles. See it just to see how it looks. I don't know if I'm going to keep it there. See if that helps. Yeah, you can see them down in there. See that bowl? So there you go. Some detail, little details like that. Said before, I'll say it again. The attention is in the details. Now, getting back to this, you're going to need some plates. So we're going to need a cabinet to put the plates up in. There we go. Hutch. Oh, it's way back. Okay, that one piece took up that whole wall, but we're not going to leave it just one piece. I'm going to put a couple dishes on there. You know what? This would be really, really good in the sink too. Totally forgot I had it, but it's big enough. It'll fill up some space without taking up a lot of slots. And again, you're going to hear me say that a lot, but that's the biggest thing. Okay, so let's see how that lines up over here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. And it gives you another big thing in there to fill up some space. Alright, so let's see how this looks like this. In there, is it too big? Yeah, it's too bad. That would have fit nicely. What I can do though, is just put it there. Take that drag off so I can lift up just enough. Then have a bowl I can put right up here. Not very big. Not very big space. Just a little bit. There we go. Not floating. It's a bowl. Alright, Alright, so we got some stuff there. Let's real quick throw some furniture in here. Nothing extravagant. Yeah, I think that'd be a nice little bed. Picture them having this kind of bed in here. In this place, I'm not going to put a door. I don't need a door. They live here, and it's not that big a deal. It's too close to the wall, though. I will say that. And they are going to need a rug, even though it's the basement. They need to have some kind of flooring. That's too big. There we go. See how that's... that's good. That will work. See, could come down a little bit, make it more centered. So it needs to turn a little bit because it's a little cockeyed. Alright. You know what, I'm thinking those aren't the best lights for here. Let's try another light. I kind of like the idea of having... That's a nice one. They deserve something nice, and this will light up a lot of the room. Try to make those legs somewhat straight. Get a little bit closer to that pillar. Alright. I'll finish this room up. I'll put a little bit of tweaking in the kitchen area. Show you in the next video. We're still sitting really good. We're only at 151 pieces. Slots used, so... Looking to see what I have that I could throw in here. It would help if I went to the right place, though. There we go. Little nightstand here. If you get the bare bones down, you get what you need, like I have down here, the fireplace, the cooking area, all this stuff in here. Once you get all that down, and you do that for the entire location, then you can go in and fill in the rest. Get all the details in there. Make sure that, you fill up the spots, make it look good. Don't just throw stuff around. But you can make it look lived in. Chest at the end of the table, end of the bed. Like this, I'm doing here now, and I'm doing this because we have plenty of slots left, and I want to finish this room off in the next couple of minutes. And this looks good. Right over here, they're gonna need some place to put the clothes. I picture a man and a woman living here, middle-aged for their time period. Oof. Glad I did that because look at that. sconce on there. Boom. Put a little something over here to fill up the slots. Don't know if I want that map. What I do have, plenty of paintings. I think I'll put that one there. It's nice, it's big. Fill up that wall nicely. Might be too big. I think it is. Try something a little smaller. That one might be good. Yeah, that's better. It's not too big at all, but it's pretty decent size. You see what I mean about just little tweaks, moving it very slowly. Alright, that's going to do it for this one, this episode. Thank you for coming by. If you like what you're seeing, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell for the notifications. Thanks for stopping by, spending your time with me. If you have any suggestions on what to do, leave them in the comments below. And I will see you. I will be putting out the fourth and hopefully final chapter of this episode, finishing up the house. Look for the link to that video. I'll put that up as soon as possible. Thanks again for coming by. I really appreciate it. And I will talk at you all